And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am your host, Raf Pizarro, joined by my co-host, the Vicar of Vesuvius, Rafa Rispo.
Tre punti. What's up, Raf Pizarro? Hey, nice shirt, my friend.
Thank you. I like your shirt too, sir. You got good taste.
Yeah, you got good taste.
Hang on.
No, you got good taste.
No, you got the best taste.
Nah.
Taste.
Yes. I like the hat too. It matches.
Matches.
Dude,
thank you.
how are you? How's it going?
I'm well, sir. I'm doing good. Pretty good.
Good.
All things considering, pretty good weekend. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome again. Let's get this rant on the road, guys. Today's episode, battle at Bergamo. The Partenopei come away with all 3 points, 3 goals.
Baby.
Oh, man, 3 times a charm. Against Atalanta. Well, 2 times, I guess, this season, right?
Yeah, no, we did not beat Atalanta at the Maradona, but we got the
redemption
3-2, but we got them 3-1 here. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, it was a match, and we'll talk about it. But just to quickly pre-talk, summarize it up. This was one of the biggest wins of the season, and it was one of the most important as well for more than one reason, and we'll get into it. But so happy we got the 3 points here. And Ralph Pizarro.
Yes.
You know, we thought we'd get some help from our amici from the north, Ventini,
yes.
but we did not.
No. You can never rely on those guys.
No, you can't. And usually, if you saw my Twitter, you'd understand how I felt. But, arrivederci Scudetto for Juventus. Good luck catching, with Roma chasing you for the Champions League spots now. Inter's one of their biggest opportunities to drop points was squandered, but today Bologna, who needs to play Inter at the end of April in that makeup game, drew Milan 0-0 at the San Siro. Huge result for Napoli, which sees us 1 point behind the Scudetto race with 7 games left. I can't even believe I'm saying it. It's unbelievable.
It's not their fault. The refs are corrupt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not.
How's it feel, huh? How's it feel?
I'm sorry. Quickly, we'll bring our guest in, and then
let's do it
with him. But I have something to say about that before we get on too. So let I guess we should bring our.
Let's bring in our guest, guys,
and chat about it. Yeah.
You know him, has plenty of caps here on the Napoli Rant, is the president of Napoli Club Taranto. You know him, you love him. Carmine, welcome, sir.
What's up, guys?
Cool sound effects. Now
Carmine,
we've been cutting back our budgeting. Yeah, we've
How
been
are you guys?
Back on budget.
Causing earthquakes over here, Carmine. Good. Man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on again.
Good to see you. So we're all wearing kits today, but Carmine is wearing the Napoli Club Toronto kit, right? Is that for like the
TFC, baby?
Yeah, that's a kit.
I got name
Guadagno. There you go.
Guadagno number 9.
Numero 9.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we have our club team. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, we have our club. We have 9v9 team, men's league 9v9 team that we're competing in, and I guess it's fate for both Napoli and us right now because we are in first place, leading, going in for a Scudetto this season.
Yeah, boy.
First season in a 9v9, going for a Scudetto. So I just hope Napoli can follow suit with us right now.
Awesome, man. Now, I actually saw your pictures on Instagram. I love sports photography, by the way. So if I do come to Toronto, I'm gonna make sure you guys are playing so I can snap some photos of you guys, man.
By the way, those pictures. Shout out to Steph Chaffee, who's
our
social media guy now.
Yeah,
he's got this camera that I swear to you, he's like he gets the most perfect shots of the most perfect moments. Like he gets you in mid stride looking for a pass, making like unreal saves. He's all very good with it. We're happy with everything that he's done.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I've been checking him out. I love him. I think you scored a goal recently too, right? On that last game or something like that.
Me? Oh no, I hit the bar on the last game.
Oh,
couldn't score. I couldn't hit the broadside of a bar in last game, but yeah, I scored a couple of goals so far this season. Not too shabby. More like a Patania type of player.
Okay.
Let everyone else get the minutes and get them with the last dagger when I step on the field.
Yeah, you get the game winner, right? Come on.
Every once in a while.
Sometimes, just say yes.
Sometimes, I'll say yes. Yeah, make myself
Okay.
look good on here.
Thank you. But awesome. Yeah, definitely check them out on their Instagram, guys. Lots of fun, man. Show some support. But yeah, the aftermath, man. Napoli versus Atalanta. Guys, quit. Oh, I gotta do something. Anyway, I'll get that going. I didn't prepare my beast of the match photo, but I think we all know who it is. But I'll prepare that when you guys are talking. But Carmine, I'll just start with you straight off the bat, man. Your thoughts of the game. Let's just start from the beginning, man. Coming out the gate. You know, I'm getting a lot of mixed opinions. Some, oh, they played well. Some, oh, it wasn't that, you know, they didn't play that great. Some people were, you know, in the beginning at the very least. And then, you know, some saying it was kind of a Catenaccio style. What say you, man? Coming out, how did Napoli look?
They didn't look good. Atalanta had our number for the first 15 minutes of that game. They pressed extremely well. They made sure that both Juan Jesus and Koulibaly, who are great defenders on the ball, always had someone on top of them. They always made sure that somebody was sticking on Lobotka every opportunity they got. They pressed really well, and Napoli, for the first 10-15 minutes, couldn't string together two passes. They just kept giving the ball away. It was really sloppy at the start.
I saw that. I would say even like Koulibaly, he slipped on the pitch a few times. Even the announcer was saying like how maybe the field was too wet or something. Like
yeah, because they're slipping all over the place, and the ball was moving really fast on the pitch too. So
right.
It could have been the pitch too. You never know, but regardless of the fact that Gasperini prepared them for that game, he prepared them really well.
Sure,
and they had our number, and I thought for sure we were going to concede within the first 10 to 15 minutes because we were giving up the balls in dangerous areas.
Right.
Lobotka was misplacing his touches, his passes. Everyone just couldn't connect. So I thought for sure within the first 10 to 15, we were going to concede. The one thing we did do well, though, is I kind of agree. We did kind of play Catenaccio, is that we defended really well. And what I'd like to see was every time we lost the ball, we were just as quick to get it back again.
Back.
Both of our wingers, Politano and Insigne, were massive help on defense.
Yeah.
It was Anguissa, Diallo, and Lobotka that were really solid in the middle, making sure that Malinowski didn't really have great touches on the ball. They kind of isolated him to not get him involved in the play, which is massive. And they just kind of just held their own, held the fort down, made sure nothing was too threatening, even though they were not playing a great game. Then after the 14th minute or something like that, we get that one counter. They get the foul in the box, which is a clear foul, because Zanoli, who would have thought, kids like Maradona on some of these plays.
Yo, we'll get to him, but go on. Yeah,
I had a lot of high hopes on him. Yep.
Save it.
Very impressed by him, but he's the reason why we got that first goal. He's the reason he cut through the team. He was taking on his man one-on-one, being more direct with the ball and really pushing the play forward.
Yeah.
And he's the one who eventually got Mertens that penalty call. Like I don't think without Zanoli making the moves he was doing, we wouldn't have gotten that penalty. And then from that point on, I think we really settled in. Atalanta had to open up a little bit more as well. Right. And we just took advantage of it and ran away with the game from that point on.
Rafa, do you want to? I have a question for you, kind of relating to all this, though. Yep. You know, yes, it seemed as if Atalanta had our number. Maybe they were certainly pressing hard. They were putting the pressure on, but that's kind of like something I expect when we go into a visitor's stadium. Sure. You know, when we go to somebody else's home, I expect the home team to put the pressure on. I expect that initial jolt of energy to come from that home team. Do you think it was Atalanta having our number, or do you think it was Spalletti, or do you think it was like Atalanta kind of playing into Spalletti's plan, which was this kind of more of a defensive minded approach, at least in the beginning to the game, maybe wanting to set up that counterattack? How did you kind of see the game coming out? Maybe let's just get into the first half only. But coming out the gate with Napoli. How did you see it? Did you see it as Atalanta, getting our number, pressing hard, or did you see it as like Napoli sitting back just waiting? Because a lot of our attacking was kind of on the counter attack. I feel that game, or was it something completely different?
No, I'm inclined to believe that Napoli were sort of playing the game as the away team. Going in that Atalanta have not been good in Bergamo this season. Only 4 home wins this year, which is unheard of in this run for Atalanta. That historically Atalanta was they have our number when it comes to this fixture in Bergamo. I think it was something like 51 matches played. They'd won like 21 of them or 22 of them, and Napoli only 10, right? The rest being draws, of course. So I think Spalletti, having done a little bit of homework, and let's face it, I mean, Gasperini didn't start everybody. I think he's sort of, what was planning on the Europa League coming up this Thursday. I do believe, ciao, Christopher. I do believe that Napoli played, though, that away role, similar to the way Milan played us. I mean, Milan sat back for about 15 minutes when we attacked them up, attacked them at the Maradona, and then kind of gave us a little bit of trouble, Right. So I feel like that's the way you can approach, once you get your rhythm going and you get a goal, let's also take into account that we had no Osimhen, who has been scoring goals for us left and right, and that was a very big concern. We had no Rahmani, so Juan Jesus is back there, who, Juan Jesus was playing a lot with Rahmani while Koulibaly was out. Now it was the other way around. So I think maybe that, they needed to get used to that a little bit too. That's another factor. Plus Zanoli was starting, which, we didn't have basically our ace in the hole, Di Lorenzo, back there, who makes all these runs and pushes forward offensively. But I think everybody at the end of the day pulled together and did their thing. They just kind of had to find their groove. They got the penalty call, which was right. And away we go, So I would have to say maybe it's a mixture of both, where Atalanta, Atalanta is a tough team no matter what, but they were missing a lot of players. Like I said, some players like Gasperini decided not to start, and they haven't had Zapata for most of the season. Dufan, I mean, at least the last 17 or 18 games, it had to have been, he's been injured for a while, and no Zapata, no party in my opinion, because he's definitely, listen, there are a lot of goals, there are a lot of players on that team that can score goals, but he's the most prolific goal scorer for Atalanta in this run, and he's gone. So Malinowski's got a great shot from the outside. You got Muriel that can come in and score. You got Derun who scores. You got Pessina who scores. You got guys like Demiral who scored against us in the Maradona. They can score goals. It's just that they don't have their prolific goal scorer. And I've seen this dip in Atalanta's form coming for the past year and a half, 2 years already. So, like I said, the short answer to my long-winded explanation is I think it's a mixture of both, a healthy mixture. But we get that penalty and it was off to the races.
I'm with it, guys. I'm going to read off a quick comment, and then I have a question from Christopher Estrada that we can answer. But Enzo said they played on the counter and it worked. When teams play 3 in the back and attack like Atalanta, they get exposed. I feel as if almost like Luciano Spalletti told the team, like, hey, so you need, everybody needs to support each other on defense today. That's kind of like mission number 1. Remember, mind you, Di Lorenzo wasn't there today. You had, Rahmani wasn't there that day. So everybody held it down. Certainly Koulibaly and Rui. I thought Juan Jesus had a so-so game. I think there were times that he came off his line and left maybe a hole open in the back. But the fact that everybody else was getting kind of like behind the ball, and like Carmine said earlier, where it's like we might have lost the ball, but then we got it back pretty quick. We were able to make a clearance. Ospina, I mean, not many saves, but big ones, big important saves, man. This guy, he beasted it. I feel like, in that game. I mean, maybe Atalanta tanked a few shots. I thought Muriel was going to score for sure. And to be honest, I had a few people ask me about what would be results, and shame on me, I guess. I said I'm not sure if Napoli's going to win, but
dude, that's a normal thought. Listen, that's not too far fetched, man. You and me both. I was afraid of this game. I really was. Again, no Zapata, considering that they had Europa League in the middle of the week coming up. But I was with you, Ralph. I really didn't think Napoli was going to get maximum points here. Let's put it that way. And we've had Gaetano on here say if they can get 7 out of the next 9, that'd be great. Which here you go, 3 points down. But this was the one game in those 3 where I thought maybe we dropped. No Osimhen, no Rahmani. 100%. They're back for Fiorentina. So
that's what I was afraid of, right?
Even though Fiorentina's on a good little run now too, Roma too. You can be a little afraid of those 2 teams, but we're gonna have Osimhen for those games. We're gonna have Rahmani for those games. I think we're missing Anguissa for the Fiorentina game, and that's it. But with such prolific players missing, this was the game I was very afraid of. On the road to Atalanta, no matter their home record, they're a tough team. And we got the job done, which was great, but pretty surprising, Ralph. I really did too. I thought we'd drop points here. I did.
I was just afraid that maybe I didn't think like Atalanta was going to bang home 3 goals on us, maybe, but I just felt like we were going to have a hard time scoring. But we'll get into the goal scorers. I want to because I want to make a quick point, so I'll answer this question at the same time. Honest thought on Zanoli. Full debut, Christopher Strada asks, can he be the future for fullbacks? Didn't see the game. Would love to hear from you guys. So my quick answer is he could be. I think Di Lorenzo is going to hold down that spot for the next upcoming few years. But Zanoli got a bright future. I thought he was pacey. I thought he was confident. The fact that he played the whole game against Atalanta in Bergamo, he showed a lot of maturity. He still has a lot to learn, but I'm confident in him. The fact that he had the vision when he was holding the ball, and kind of saw that gap in the middle of the field and took it and set up, well, what ended up becoming the penalty kick for Mertens, I thought, shows is like a testament to his vision. So I'm confident about it. And considering this whole conversation lately in Italy about the youth players all over Italy and the performance needed from them, I think this is important. I think that, this is definitely a kid to keep your eye on. So excited about that, Chris. I hope that helps. And I think he was certainly a big part of this game. He needed to step up. He needed to perform. Yes, the whole team was pitching in on defense, but you got Koulibaly there to back you up. That's a good guy to have behind you. But I'm super confident about him, guys. If you want to touch on Zanoli real quick.
And that was a question, wasn't it? Who's going to start on the in Di Lorenzo's place?
I'm glad it was him over Malcoui.
Right.
Like no offense to Malcoui, but I want
my opinion was Zanoli the whole time, but Carmine, what was yours going into it? Did you believe it would be Zanoli? Did you think it was going to be Malcoui? Who were you looking to start this one? And are you happy with Zanoli's performance?
Well, my my take, right? Always play the kids whenever you get a chance. And that's so I personally I wanted Zanoli to play, and I'm glad that he did play. Because of for many different reasons. First of all, I think Zanoli just proved that in Italy, the coaches got to get out of that mindset that the kids are not too young to keep developing. The kids can go out there and go with trial by fire. They can play. They made it that far in their career. They can play.
Right.
Try them out. That's all you got to do is just try them out. And you can see it in other divisions, right? Bundesliga up on the rise. A lot of young talents coming in out of the Bundesliga. The Eredivisie has classically been known for producing young talents. because they put them through trial by fire. They let them go out there. They let them make their mistakes, and that's how you learn how to play the game at a professional level. You have to let them fall before they can. You have to let them. They have to fall before they can run. So getting the kids out there is something that is crucial for youth development that Italy is kind of lacking. And Zanoli just proved it right now that you can trust them. If you need them when the going gets tough, you can put those guys on the field and have faith in them.
Certainly.
And you can see out in his play. Sure, he's not the greatest technical player yet. He still has some things to. He's 22, so 16 in Italian years, basically. But you can see it in the way he plays. He doesn't have sometimes he misplaces a touch. Sometimes he gets a little bit caught out of position. But he's learning as he's playing, as he's on the field. He keeps mental notes with them, right? But you can see not only that, you can see the effort and the confidence that he had in his play. That was the major difference. You saw that he knew that this was his time to get out there, his time to impress, and he took full advantage of it. And I can guarantee you, every kid in the Primavera system has that same mentality. They want to get out there. They want to prove. They want to put their name out there. They want to show that they can be the next top thing. Right. So, with the way Zanoli performed, his confidence, his ability, first of all, his vision was like a veteran. Insane with his vision,
and super calm throughout the game.
And you could see it. What was it? The last game he came in was the game I think before we went on break. Who did we play before we went on break? It was so long ago, and so many things happened in between. I just don't remember.
I can't remember.
I got it. Keep going.
The game the match that we won, he came in. It's when Di Lorenzo was injured.
Yeah,
right. The match he got injured in. Anyway, he came in and right away, in my opinion, his first couple touches, and he made this one run, and I'm looking at him like, okay, I think he's got some smarts here, this guy, and it's not the first time he's played. He's come in. It was Udinese. That's right. He's coming when we were down. And we ended up coming back, and I think he came in when we were already ahead. But still, he made a few runs. He had some good touches, and I was like, "This is the kid that's going to play in place of Di Lorenzo." He is, play the kids. Yeah, Carmine, you're right. Everything you said is correct and on point. I don't see him though as a kid. Really, he's on the squad. He's on the Rosa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been on the team all season long, and he's not a kid anymore, in my opinion. He's on the team. I know he's 22, but I know what you're saying. But
he's
typically a player with a little more maturity, a little more age, a little more experience would take this role, and Spalletti put his faith in him. Yes, he did. Obviously, you can see something in him,
I'm going to read off two comments and then we'll move on, guys. FNS Forever says, Zanoli can be a solid rotation player for GDL. Giovanni De Laurentiis, what a performance from the kid.
Di Lorenzo. You said you called him De Laurentiis.
Sorry.
Speaking
You're always on my mind. You're always on.
Speaking of De Laurentiis for a minute, you mentioned, Ralph, that Di Lorenzo and, FNS Forever saying that he could be a solid rotation player. But there is the issue of is Di Lorenzo going to resign? I haven't seen anything about resigning.
I thought he did.
Did he resign?
I thought he's resigned.
Did Di Lorenzo resign? I don't think he did.
I thought he did in the middle of the season.
Missed.
It was like in the middle of the season, yo. Didn't he resign?
There was a lot of talk about him and his agent talking about possibly not resigning. Maybe he did. If somebody out there can help us out,
Gaetano, if you're watching this,
if you know.
Gaetano, call Joe Fischetti quickly, please.
We need Joe
confirm
Fischetti.
If
we need the encyclopedia.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did resign, but I'm not so sure he's a. I don't think he's a free. I don't think he's a free next season. But I think we're looking to resign him before the season before he leaves. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, I'm not sure. Pascal, you guys know. Okay, Gaetano confirms he hasn't. So.
He hasn't. But did Joe Fischetti tell you?
Yeah, you.
Yes. All right.
We need Joe Fischetti.
We need him. But I want to read something else too. I'm sorry.
My point is this: that I feel like we could be ready for the future should Di Lorenzo decide to explore other options. Zanoli, in my opinion, and I have only seen him in one start this season. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, why not? Young kid, talented. There's our replacement.
Here's the deal here. Matteo Casala says Spalletti had said that after 2 sessions he saw something special in Zanoli. That's not something you hear every day. Granted, fine, but prior to Udinese, Zanoli had like less than 7 minutes of playtime. So if Spalletti is seeing something special, you need to play the kid a little bit more than 7 minutes, not wait till Di Lorenzo is.
But that's how important Di Lorenzo is to the squad. He is so important to this team.
Fine,
you could sub him in and out every now and then.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this. You had the Europa League, any one of those games he could have started. Maybe.
But if Di Lorenzo is telling you, "Yo, I want to play. Don't take me out," because we don't know. That could be the case.
It could be.
If he's saying, "Listen, I'm not coming out of this game. It's not happening."
Yeah.
There are players that are like that. Don't take me out.
Yep.
But I don't want Spalletti to start like, I see something special. Don't start that shit. You barely played the kid. So
who's to say he didn't see it though? Because he could have seen it, but a lot of Italian coaches are stuck in their ways where if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
That's it. I mean, and look where we are. But look where we are. We entered this game only 3 points outside of first. And it's working. Everything is working.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
No, but I agree with what Raf's saying because at the same time in the Europa League games, right? If Di Lorenzo really says don't take me off, I want to play. You as a manager have to help him, bring him down to. I know you want to play, bring him down to earth, but say, listen, the season this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We got to keep you healthy for as long as possible. This kid, take some rest, take some time off because we have a more important game to play in the future than right now. So it's also player management like that maybe
absolutely
probably is happening, but not to that extent.
Right. But so now it's happening. I mean, it takes an injury for it to happen. Fine. But it's going to happen. Zanoli's going to play and he's going to get great. I mean, what more can you ask for a player, than to have to come in and play against Atalanta, Fiorentina, and Roma back to back to back?
Yeah.
He's going to get good experience here. Very good.
All right, guys, moving on. Now, this is a big topic that Rafa, you wanted to speak about. I guess we're going to get into them.
I did. Yeah.
I'm calling this one Captain Scudetto with something to prove because let me just give the background here, Rafa, to all our viewers, and then, I'm going to have you guys take it away. Yes, Insigne, maybe not. By the way, Carmine, you're gonna have to at some point today. You're gonna have to talk about your plant. Okay, I'm just okay,
dude. You said something about seeing something special. I think these guys back here are seeing something.
Look at that. Is it a real plant? It's a real plant.
It's real.
Peter says it's the nicest plant he's ever seen.
Thank you.
But he also said that my voice was like a voice of an angel, which is absolutely not true. So. I don't know what everyone's smoking back there, but I'm not saying your plant's not nice. I'm not saying your plant's not nice, dude, but maybe they're smoking some of that plant.
Look at this plant. Come on.
What kind of plants do you guys got at home?
What is that, a fern?
I have zero idea what it is, but I'll ask my mom. I'll send that to you guys after.
What is that? Purple.
Everyone loves the plant.
Purple haze? What is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's Northern Lights.
By the way, they passed the legalization federally in the House, and it's going to the Senate in the United States. Just want to let everybody know that.
In the whole country, really?
Yeah. So yeah.
We're gonna go down now.
Yeah. And the Democrats are pushing it, so let's go Democrats. All right, but you never know,
I'm
guys.
all for it, man.
Yeah, party at our house if so.
I'm all for it.
But plant talk, baby. This is the best part. If it's not about mozzarella, it's gonna be about a plant or something. It's great.
No bird. By the way, no bird's nest in this plant yet. We'll get working on that.
I was gonna do that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I do want to comment on this, Dante, and I appreciate you coming in to watch. As a Juventino too, we will take it a little easy on you today.
Thank you.
For me, it's not Milan Scudetto to lose anymore, my friend. They drew Bologna today. They're only a point ahead. I don't think it's anyone's Scudetto right now. I think it's whoever decides to pull ahead a little bit in the next couple of weeks. It's their Scudetto. And you have to consider the Inter game. I know I said don't worry about it, forget about it. Keep
You mean
going.
the game in hand?
The game in hand. They're there. If they win that game in hand, it could be trouble. So we need them to drop points too. So I don't know if it's fully in Milan's hands, my friend. So you know, if they beat Bologna today, maybe we could talk.
But thanks anyway for coming in. But yeah,
and I appreciate you watching. Obviously, thank you, Francesco.
America's about to become an weed, just weed. Talking about Lorenzo Insigne, sometimes you need some weed, man. That's what happens. But Drew, after the draw today, be exciting to watch.
Dante is right. Milan
Sassuolo
up there,
last
man. Match day.
Yeah. We're a friendly bunch, Dante. Spread the word, man. We're friendly in here.
Not even the last match day. Milan's last 5 or 6 games, like Inter, Torino, Lazio, Fiorentina.
Well, Inter is a Coppa Italia, but yes,
but it's still a match. Right?
It's still a match you want to win. There's no. Exactly. I'm sorry. There's no chance for me that Milan and Inter in the Coppa Italia second leg 0-0 that they're going to be watching the Scudetto for that. They're going to go at it. Someone wants to get into the final. I'm telling you.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's still they got the last little stretch of games. It's tough for Milan. So at this point, it's basically who loses less is going to win.
Who loses less? Right. Exactly. Who loses less?
It's not who wins more. It's who
said
loses
it.
less.
Everyone's going to drop points. Yeah. So far, the only team that didn't drop points since I've said top 4 will drop points is Napoli.
Yeah.
I said that after the Milan game, and there you go. So
a burning hand is there 2 in the bush. All right, Dan, I gave you 2 in the bush. So yeah, Captain Scudetto with something to prove, guys.
Scudetto.
Hey, this is my son Scudetto.
All right, Scudetto, something to prove.
He's been having kind of a tough season. Granted, all right. I think Gaetano gave him kind of a low score. You're right, Gaetano. I am trying to stay composed. Tough business when you're live. But, I'm curious. He came through against Minchia.
Atalanta, yeah.
He scored the penalty kick. I think he was helping keeping control of the ball. He certainly helped on defense, Rafa. But I'm going to kind of just put the ball in Rafa's court because I know you wanted to say something about him, Rafa. I know you wanted to defend him a little bit. We try to look at the bright side of things here on the Napoli rant, especially with our players and how we perform. So, without further ado, I'd like to present to you our host, Rafa Rispo.
Well, thanks, Rafa Pizarro. I appreciate the intro.
I'm Lorenzo and it's the intro within the show. Gotcha.
Listen, and for me, okay, I understand everybody's frustration on signing the pre-contract with Toronto. I get it. I understand everybody's frustration with how he's playing this season compared to how he's played last season. 19 goals. How many assists? Great performances. Really took on the role as captain, and then a lot of people really saw the dip at the beginning of the season. Obviously, his contract situation was on his mind. He wasn't sure of what he was doing. He got that out of the way, and there you go. Yeah, he missed a penalty or 2 this season, I believe, and he's still in single-digit penalty misses over his career, just so you guys know. And I understand that, all this coming together at the same time is frustrating. But for me, the argument that Insigne isn't doing anything this year or isn't playing as he should be or is subpar or whatever, look at his numbers. I don't care if they were all penalty kicks and one was on a open play. I don't care about that. In Serie A, he's got 8 goals and 7 assists. That tops numbers at Napoli. Nobody has more than 7 assists. Nobody has more than 8 goals, except for Osimhen. Sorry, my fault. Since that stat had come out, Osimhen scored 4 goals and took over that. What I'm trying to say is that nobody has more combined numbers, 8 and 7. Okay, total goals and assists. If you're sitting here telling me this guy's not contributing, you're not watching the sport. You're not watching the match. You're not watching. Okay, it's the same argument as you would give to Mario Rui, only because Mario Rui fell over and Koulibaly had to shove him to mark a PSG player, and it became a gif and a meme and all that stuff. Okay, Mario Rui is a wonderful left back, and you saw that yesterday, and you've seen that all season long. But nobody's looking at how Insigne is playing and affects this team. Sure, he's come out and had some pretty, lackluster performances. Yes, he's upset about the national team. Yes, he had that on his sites. Yes, he's not playing as well as he played last season, because last season was his best season at Napoli. Follow that, Try to follow that a year older with a contract looming over your head. It's impossible. Impossible. For a guy who doesn't score goals that much in his... Yes, he's surpassed Maradona now. He's at 117 or 119 or whatever it is. Fine, I get it. But that's over a 10-year career, a 10 or 11-year span. You can't sit here and tell me Insigne is not contributing, because that player has given everything he has on that pitch, and you can tell he still loves this club. He still loves this team. He still wants to win. Why would you not want to win? For people saying he's checked out, for people saying that he's gone in Toronto already, this and that, I say bullshit. He is. Bullshit. You're still a competitor. You still want to win. Tell me you don't want to leave Napoli raising a Scudetto for this club. A Scudetto from Napoli, it has a chance to leave, and his lasting impression is to raise a Scudetto as a captain for this club. And you sit there and tell me his head's already in Toronto, he doesn't want to get hurt. It's bullshit. And yesterday's performance just showed everybody that they're wrong about Insigne, in my opinion. And you guys can have your own opinion, and that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, nobody cares more than Insigne right now. Nobody. And it shows. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm happy that he's done what he's done. And Scudetto or not, I'm an Insigne guy, man, and I'm very happy for him. Made his decision, and I view his time here as a success. And I'm sorry, you guys can give him a lot of crap if you want. The Napoli faithful seem to also. But at the same time, I feel like the Napoli faithful at the Maradona or traveling, it's contrary to what everybody else is saying. I think they're behind him too. You have to be. You can't be giving somebody shtick for having a so-so game, or maybe a 6.8 rating game, one game here and there. You have to stick with it with these guys. We have to stick with these guys. Let me tell you something. Before I go and let you guys formulate your own opinion or rebuttal or whatever you guys want to do, I checked just before we went on the air. Insigne's ratings with Napoli in combined matches with Serie A in Europe. He's played 41 matches in the past year. The past from April 4th, 21 to 22. 41 matches for Napoli. Okay. And his average rating is a 7.5.
That's pretty good.
But he's not producing. And we're talking about the tail end of last year. So those 41 games, probably 8 are from last season, maybe 7. You're going to tell me he's not producing? He's got an average of 7.5? I'm sorry. I don't buy into the fact that people think that Insigne is gone, or Insigne is done, or Insigne is having a down season, or Insigne is having the worst season of his career just because he can't be. His job is literally not to score goals. It's not to score. It's to contribute, and it's to assist, and it's to play make. Yeah, if he can find himself open and take some shots, go ahead. But he's our captain. He takes the penalties and he buries them. He missed a couple in the beginning of the season, but he has been lights out since. So that's my rant on Insigne, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys can formulate your own opinion and say whatever you guys want. You're not going to change my mind. We can debate it all day. But that's it.
Done. Said. Done and done. Amen. Amen to that one, brother. Carmen, I want to get to the beast of the match, but I want to give you a moment to add any of your thoughts here.
Yeah. I kind of agree with
you can
everything.
disagree.
I kind of, in a way. I wouldn't say he has been producing, and I'm not going to devalue his I'm not going to diminish his value to the team. He is a captain, and you can see on the pitch. Listen, like you said, kid from Frata Maggiore goes to Pescara. Nobody was giving him a chance. Napoli takes a chance on him. They bring him in, and 10 years later, 11 years later, you see what he's been able to accomplish up until this point. Nobody, and I agree with Raf here, nobody cares about this team as much as Insigne. Nobody, not one person on that field. He definitely cares the most. You can see it just in that last game, how he's going up to the curva after they score. You know, you can tell when a player, you know, when they kiss the badge and all that, you can tell when they're doing it for show, and you can tell when they're doing it out of love. And Insigne, he's genuinely doing it out of love. He loves this team and he loves the squad deeply, as much as he'd love his own mother. But the one thing I did want to say is that, yeah, you know, he's been producing, but we can't say he's the same player, because you can tell sometimes he's a step slow. Sometimes he will misplace a pass or two. But I can kind of see where someone else is coming from if they're saying that I don't really see where they're saying it's the worst season ever. I don't think it is either, but I can kind of understand the argument where if you watch him on a week to week basis, there's some games where he's lackluster. He's a touch slow. He makes the wrong decision at times. And it's just people really want to focus and harp in on those moments. The way I see Insigne is not what he does on the field. It's basically what he does off the field, or even when he's on the field. It's not the way he plays, it's the aura that he carries around him. Like I said, he cares about this season the most, because this is do or die for him. It's either he leaves with a bang, or he is just like
he leaves regardless.
He leaves
Yeah.
regardless, but he
leaves
wants to leave with
regardless.
a bang. He
Yes.
wants to leave with a lasting memory for the population of Naples and for himself, to be the first captain since the first captain since Maradona to win a Scudetto for Napoli. Like this is everything for him right now. And to me, that's his value on the pitch. He's still a creative player. He still is able, like that pass to Politano on against Atalanta was perfect. Right to his laces, he put that pass. And he does that consistently. But it's more than that. It's how he carries himself onto the field as a captain, and everything that he does behind the scenes as a captain to get this team behind him so that they can make it to the finish line and win that Scudetto. That's his value this season. And that's what I think we're all missing with Insigne. That's what we're all missing. We're not looking at it that way.
Right. Let's not, listen. Again, in my rant, I said it and I'll say it again. He's not having the season he had last season. He had the best season of his career, literally, statistic wise, and obviously, you know what I mean? Even though we didn't make it to the Champions League, even though, and he's the captain, even though look at the season as a whole, when you look at the start of the Serie A season to the end of the Euros, right? Guy walked away with a European trophy in his national team and had his highest numbers in Napoli, of his career last season. Yeah. So it was 100% a success, and it's tough to follow. So yeah, I mean, a year older, a step older, maybe a little step slower, possibly. Okay, I'll concede that, and I'm not denying that. But I mean, fans harp on those things, like I said, they harped on Mario Rui and that one, and I'm not saying Mario Rui was this wonder left back after that meme or that GIF, years ago against PSG where Koulibaly had to shove him to mark. I'm not saying that he's been the best either, but lately he has. But people still want to see, oh, he's not for me. He's just, oh, he has a couple stinkers here and there. Well, guess what? News flash to everyone. So does every single player on planet Earth. They have games where they're not going to perform. And like you said, Carm, when you watch week in and week out, you see these good players that tend to have bad games, and they get judged by those bad games. You know what I mean? Instead of being judged by the last game or the last few games that they played. You know,
Guys,
Lorenzo Insigne has had some pretty crappy games this season where he didn't show or what have you. But more often than not, I mean, take a look again. Wow, 41 matches, average rating of 7.5. You know, that's a pretty good statistic in my opinion.
I agree.
Guys, real quick, all I'm gonna say about Insigne, I yes, maybe he had somewhat of a rougher season. I'm not sure what everybody. I think a lot of people expected more from him. Maybe because after winning the Euros, they wanted more from him because he lifted that trophy. I think Napolitanis in general want to see Insigne lift up the Scudetto, but as far as his opinion, that's the Maradona one. No, that's dope, Rafa. I'm thinking it was this one. Man. You know, I'm like, wait a minute.
I had to stretch. I'm sorry, that rant really got me.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's nice.
There you go.
Love it.
It's nice.
I didn't realize. I thought it was the same one. Yeah, it looks good.
Once again, I'm not wearing this out anywhere, just so you know. But yeah, take a look here. But it looks like Maradona. Maradona after his playing career when he blew up like a balloon.
Stop. Okay. Let me get into. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I sidetracked myself. Insigne is the best player. Right. To the kicking. Salvatore said, "Yeah, totally right there, Salvatore." But listen, I think a lot of people expected more. People expected Lorenzo Insigne to be like Neymar or some shit this season, or Neymar. I don't even think is even that great right now. But it's like I don't know what we expected from Insigne. Now, as far as on the national team and people talking all this shit, I think most people just kind of go where the wind blows. I'm not even sure they have their own fucking opinion. They're too scared to defend their 100%. City, their team, their player. They're just too scared. Now, that's not to say you can't have an opinion against Insigne. I mean, the Gaetano's in there. I know you're obsessed with Carmine's plant right now, but Gaetano did have an opinion on Insigne, and that's okay. No, I don't know. I'm kind of getting old. but the point is,
the chat has gone off the rails. By the way,
yeah, they're on.
I try not to look. Every time I look, I have to keep laughing.
I mean, hey, listen,
the chat is on the plant. Is what the chat's on the plant.
Yeah, the chat's on the plant.
But yeah, Carmine had his opinion of each.
Yeah, everybody kind of has their opinion. I think we expected more goals, more this, more that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's what Spalletti needed him to do. So maybe kind of if we consider it a dip in quality, I'm not sure how much of it was Insigne's fault. But with all that, with the contract, with the spending all that energy on the Euros, man, I still want to see him on the left. And this is coming from a guy who always says Elmas should play on the left too, and I want to see Elmas play more as well. But I don't want any other guy right now on the left but Lorenzo Insigne, even on a bad day for him. So for that, I hope these next 7 games, he can really step up and give Napoli what they need. And what's going on, my dude?
Sorry, Ralph.
No, that's it. I mean, that's all I want to say. I'm just saying, I want everybody, don't go with the wind. You can defend Insigne, you can criticize Insigne, but overall, he's been a tremendous player for this team. And the fact that he is a Scudetto, the fact that he is from Napoli, just makes it that much more special. And the fact that he is going now and earning a boatload of money in Canada makes me even happier for the guy. So I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. But guys, I want to get to the beast of the match because time's winding down. We'll probably touch on one more subject because then I got to be out. A Maple Leaf. Yeah. Don't provoke them, Rafa, please.
No. Listen, they're saying that Insigne had turned over a new leaf, and then Gaetano.
I have a feeling that's a plant pun. I just I don't know the way
it has nothing to do with Insigne. Any of the, I don't know.
Well,
you were
because
talking.
because he's going to Toronto. Do you understand? You get the joke?
I get the joke,
Yeah.
Rafa. I get the joke.
on.
They're just being
I
a
thought it
dead
was
horse.
funny. I thought I should put
I
it
thought
up
it was
there.
hilarious
I
too, but you were in the middle of your rant. If I put that, I'm gonna ruin everything. You know?
No, it's all good.
They're sitting there beating on that horse, like guys. Beast
I
of
thought
the
it was
match,
funny.
man.
Well played, guys. Well played.
Beast of the match. Let me know what you think. I mean, I think everybody kind of knew this one.
No one else.
Mario Rui.
No one else.
Mario Rui, beast of the match.
No one else. I tell you what, Gaetano puts in here Zanoli, and I'll tell you what. I told you, Ralph, didn't I tell you that he could get a shout for Beast, outside shout. I just think that it's absolutely asinine for it to be anyone else aside from Mario Rui.
Maybe Lobo, maybe
Lobo too. Lobo too. But Mario Rui for me was just absolutely unstoppable on defense. This guy was a monster. You know, Carmine, you mentioned losing balls and getting them right back. This guy was a freaking truck. And I tell you what, man, I'm so happy that he's having such a great season this year. And I think this was a well-deserved award here. Mario Rui, beast of the match.
Carmine?
Yeah, no, my two were both fullbacks. It was Zanoli and Rui. I was having a tough time to pick between both of them. But when it came down to brass tacks, who would have thought? For a while, like for the last 2 seasons, I hated Mario Rui. I could not stand him. But it just goes to show you that a change in system or a change in coach, maybe a little bit more confidence, a player can do a full 180. Look at Lobo. Lobo is the exact same thing last season to this season. Mario Rui is the exact same thing. But like against Atalanta, he was all over them. He didn't make them breathe. He was whenever they tried to open up space, he was right there always. Always in the perfect position. And the stats, like he has successful dribbles was 100% rating, 100% tackles won. 6 clearances, 1 block, 3 interceptions, 9 recoveries. Like these are insane stats from a fullback. He had them pocketed from the moment they started to the last whistle of the match. I was thoroughly impressed with how Rui played, and honestly, without him in a couple of plays, Atalanta could have popped in a few goals. But he was the last man back to recover. So yeah, beasted it all game.
I do like Gaetano's argument though. Zanoli's first ever start was in Bergamo, a huge game, played his balls off. It reminds you a little bit, Ralph, right? Biz I'm
listening.
Of Anguissa's first game against Juventus. Now I know Zanoli's been with the club and he's been, he came in the youth ranks and he's been in the club, right? But this was his first start. And comparable to Anguissa's first start against Juventus, Zanoli really performed in pressure situation, high pressure, So I do like Gaetano's assessment there for his shot for Beast. I still got to give it to Mario. I mean, just if Mario didn't play the way he played, then yeah, Zanoli would have gotten it. But he just, I mean, I can't even describe his play. Carmine read it all.
I'll say this much: Zanoli, beast in the sense like the fact that he had his first full match. There was a lot riding on this. He certainly beasted his responsibility, his responsibility. So in that he's like a mini beast or something. You know what I mean? He certainly stepped up to the challenge. I will give Zanoli that credit all day long. Absolutely. But when you have a commentator calling out your name, which happened with Mario Rui, that's when you become the beast of the match. You understand? Like I know Rafa, you may have made the argument with Insigne possibly being the man of the match, but when you see Mario Rui being called out by the commentator for his performance, a positive performance. That's the beast of the match. That's the guy that is doing all these little dirty works. And I'm telling you, I wasn't crazy so much about Juan Jesus. And I think having one Koulibaly, yes, but also Mario Rui right next to him, I think makes a big difference. And yes, he got to support from Lorenzo Insigne, which he should. And by the way, which he has been getting all season. All season, the wings, Politano and Insigne, that should go without saying, have been supporting their defense. But with that together and that performance, with all those clearances, man, you know, I still think he has some trouble in the air, but
you bring up a
well
good
deserved,
point.
man.
You bring up a good point about Juan Jesus being there with Koulibaly to his right and Mario Rui to his left, but I'm sorry, other way around.
No, I was right.
I was right. Okay.
Right.
But I'm not 100%. Maybe someone can correct me again, as always. I'm pretty sure Mario Rui and Juan Jesus played with each other before. It might have been under
Rome. Was it in Roma?
I'm thinking
Roma.
maybe the timeline doesn't match, but maybe it does. Where they played together.
Somebody called Johnny.
Where's Joe? Johnny who? Oh, Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny. If Johnny don't know, nobody knows.
Johnny would know. Johnny would know for sure. Yeah.
Johnny gotta know.
Johnny would know.
Somebody
can. Well, he's going to be a guest on our show soon. So that's good.
Soon.
I think you're right, Raf. I think they did. Because
I'm pretty sure they did. And there's that familiarity right there. You know, there's that familiarity. Ralph, before we get on to the next subject, because I know we want to get that off because we got to go. But how could we have gone 52 minutes without talking about Elmas's goal on Lozano's assist?
Yes.
How?
Well,
we talked about the pen. We talked about the free kick, beautiful to Politano, which was.
I blame the plant. I was distracted.
Yeah, man, and actually, Foot Mob's man of the match, Martin Darun, gets the goal back to pull within one. But then 10 minutes left, 2 subs on the wings.
It was what a gorgeous sequence. You have Koulibaly, who hits this long ball pass right to Lozano, who, by the way, probably had the best touch of his whole season.
Yeah.
Yes.
His best touch when he needed it. He got it. Takes on goes head on towards the defender. And I like when I remember seeing kind of like the camera angle. You see Koulibaly, Mertens, and Elmas dashing to the fucking to the other side of the field, to the box, to catch up with Lozano, who, by the way, is just effortlessly flying down the field like it's all good. And Koulibaly with those long legs just catching up. Mertens huffing and puffing, and Elmas coming in wide. Lozano had the capacity to look over, see a wide open Elmas and Mertens, by the way. He could have probably had a shorter pass.
Mertens was right behind him. Yeah.
He sent it to Elmas. And I mean, Elmas patiently. Remember what I said, Rafa? I was like, listen, what I want from Elmas in front of the goal, I want him to be calmer, a little calmer. Pick your shot and just shoot it. Whether it's a blast, this happened to be a low kick right under the goalie's leg on the far side. I mean, it was gorgeous. And it fucking sealed the deal. It was a nail in the coffin.
Yes, I let out this yelp when it happened. I'm cutting hair, man, and I see the play sequence go down, and I just went, yeah, because that was like it, man. I was afraid, but bigger than that. Not only do I have Elmas on my Fantacalcio, but I also have Lozano and Darun. So I'm winning right there, brother. I'm winning.
No, and I just really love the fact that, you know, even like K2 passes the ball and then runs to the box. I love that. Like, dude, I love seeing
and he doesn't
that,
need to. He really doesn't need to, does he? He doesn't need to, but he does.
No, but it shows how much they want to, you know, even him. It shows how much Koulibaly wants to see. Yes, I don't want to take away the credit from what Lozano did or Elmas, but I love the fact that it started from K2 and he was still able to get down the field and catch up and at least put himself in the play. He definitely drew a defender away. He was K2 is the reason why there was so much space for Mertens and Elmas, because they all went to K2. I forgot who was the center backs there, but they all went towards K2 and they left that little gap right in the middle. And Elmas just walked right up to the goalie and boop, right in the net. Wonderful. Need we say more?
Great win. No, it was a great win, man. It was a great win.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
It was just a great win. Perfect. At the end of the day, perfect opportunity. Perfect. You know, you couldn't ask for more this weekend except for maybe Juventus to come through, but fat chance. And it just was a great weekend. On to next weekend. Napoli play against Fiorentina, and then that's at Sunday at 9:00 again. But then we also have Inter against Verona on Saturday at noon. Cagliari Juventus 2:45 at noon, and Milan play Torino in Turin 2:45 in the afternoon on Sunday. So once again, Milan will have known what we did. That's another big thing, guys. Milan knew the results and was like, okay, we could pull ahead still. And, we have to. The pressure was on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. The pressure was on them. Napoli and Inter winning. We got to win, and they don't come up with points. So that could be very, very big going forward, too.
And those are tough matches.
It's going to be so much fun. Matches. Yeah, they are very tough. Very tough matches. But as great as this win was, it was pretty marred at the end of it, wasn't it, Ralph?
It was, man. And guys, it's not like stop racism, man. Like I feel like it's all falling on deaf ears, man. And it was funny. I was right before we got on the show, Ralph. I was trolling a little bit on Twitter because I'm not a big troller. I don't like starting shit online. I prefer to either come here, and say it, face to face. But we always talk about the territorial. I mean, we talk about racism, but we also look at the territorial discrimination, and it's like, how can we even stop racism when fucking Italians hate each other? Like white Christians all hating each other based on the region that they live in. And then
why would they give a shit about anybody?
Why would they give a shit a person of color? I mean, I'm not going to repeat what was said because it makes me sick. But I mean, the guy literally threw out the N-word and with the monkey noises, and I don't get it. I don't get it. How this is good. You know what I'm saying? Like how this is just nothing gets done, nothing gets talked about it. So I was thinking, why? Thank you, Gaetano. Good on you guys for bringing this up. It's a complete embarrassment. There's a lot to go on. So my only response is this now. Every time I'm gonna start shitting all over Italy. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care if my family lives there anymore, my friends. I know the people that I love there are not racist. Yes, Darun did call out his fan. He's a big fucking man, and he big man for saying that. By the way, the Federation of Senegal also came out on social media and defended.
I didn't know. No,
they came out and defended Koulibaly, saying, you're not dishonored by that, but it's I mean, you got fucking federations, you got countries, Senegal is a country calling it out. I don't know what to do anymore. It's like we have so much power here. I try to act accordingly in my whole life.
The stadiums down,
but it's about time.
That's what's gotta happen.
What's got to happen is Italy needs to get fucking embarrassed, bro. We need to shame that country because that's the only way. It's the only way. Their ego, Italy's ego is this big. It's too big, and it needs to get deflated. Your country missed out 2 times in a row on World Cups. Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Because you know who's going? You know who's going to the World Cup? Koulibaly and Senegal. Shut the fuck up with the racism shit. It's wrong. I've had enough. All right? It's bad enough what we got to deal with in Napoli, but it sucks for a person of color. I'll blend in Italy, okay? But when you're a person of color, you have no choice. When you're being judged by a physical attribute, There's no escaping it. And this man has to go in there day in and day out and keep his mouth shut for the better of his career, for the better of his team, and for the better of the city. And it really sucks, man. I wish that old piece of shit who did say that would go to Koulibaly's face outside the stadium and start calling him those words. That's what I want to see what happens. I want one of you Italians to come on a New York City subway and start talking that smack and see what happens to you. I want to see what happens to you. Guess what? You're going to be on World Star with somebody filming you getting your ass beat. So if you want to be racist, that's okay. You know what? Be racist. Okay. But come talk shit to our face. Come talk shit to our face. And you so-called I got family in the South shit, you better be speaking up too. I don't care if you root for Juve or Milan or Inter. I really don't care. I don't subscribe to the conversation that if you're from Napoli, you need to root from Napoli. But if they're shitting on the city that your family is from, you better speak up. You better speak up. That is your responsibility, and you need to do it. This is not about soccer anymore. This is not about culture or football, whatever you want to call it. This is about fucking human dignity. Enough is enough. And Italy, get your shit together. You pig country, get your shit together. You're not that cool. You're not that cool anymore. You were dope in the 90s. You're not anymore. Get it together. Enough.
Nice words.
That's all I got to say.
Good words. Good words. I do want to bring this up. The Sal says that Napoli need to walk off the pitch. If that happens, it would make people listen. True. And there was a time where Koulibaly threatened to walk off the pitch, and the referees, pretty much stopped play, and they ended up resuming later. But this occurred, Sal, after the match. There was a fan who video recorded the team walking to the back. Ralph, you got me teared up, man. Like, it's not right, man.
It's not right. It's not. We're humans here, man. What's enough?
I just don't understand what it takes to be a decent human being, especially in Italy. Like, it's across the board. It's across the board a cultural problem. I've lived it. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. It's across the board a cultural problem. It doesn't matter who you are. Someone's going to say something to you, and they have no repercussions for it. And that's the main problem, that there's no repercussions. Yeah. FIGC doesn't give a flying fuck about it. They don't give a flying fuck.
It's an opportunity for them to make money, because then they find their
exactly. So they make another stupid campaign, Stop Racism, another stupid song, and then they bury it all the
meanwhile
off the back room after.
Fans are holding up the team, saying we want free tickets, or we're going to come into the team. We're going to come into the stadium and keep.
I'm sorry.
It.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it happened to Juventus. It happened to Juventus. As much as we fucking can't stand Juventus's gobby asses, it happened to them, and it's not right. It's
like
not
we
right.
got extorted.
Juventus had to react because they didn't want that kind of situation. So they had to give free tickets away to the scumbag people who threatened to come out and shout, we're gonna give you a chance to give us a few free tickets, and you lose a couple $100 here and there, or we're going to cost you a few thousand because we're going to come in here and say this word and that word. And it's disgusting, man.
So that's the problem.
Let me just, Carmine, finish your thought. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's the problem. You are a massive multi-billion-dollar corporation. You're going to get extorted like that you're going to allow them to walk all over you like that.
The problem is that what are they going to do though? They got how do you solve it? You
just
don't allow it.
Put your foot down. Just like people of color are trying to solve it here in this country. The USA is not excused from the shit. We have a problem with racism exists all over the world. Hell, it's going to be super hard to get the whole world to change, but goddamn, can we at least in these areas not spew that kind of hatred? There's kids around, there's families around, man. What you need to do is you gotta shine a light on it, period. See, Italy won't put that spotlight on. They're too fucking proud to put that spotlight on ourselves. We in America, we're not perfect, but at least we put the spotlight on it. At least we call you out. And that's what's got to happen. You got to call out everybody. You got to shame this country, because when we dealt with this shit in the U.S., it was shameful. You understand? And that's how people change. You got to feel shame to be that kind of person. It's shameful. That's how you change.
Laws have to be made, man.
Not only that, but I agree. Laws have to be made, and you have to hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the wallets. Hit them in the wallet. See how fast they change when you hit them in the wallets. And that's everything, from corporations all the way down to a single fan. Hit them in the wallets. Find them. Make some sort of active change that to show that you care. Because up until this point, nothing. There's nothing. The banner. We all know the banner. We know what banner I'm talking about before Napoli Verona, right?
Yes.
Nothing happened because it said it wasn't in the stadium. Who the fuck cares if it was in the stadium or outside my house right now? Who the fuck cares? That is a disgusting act. And you're not, and you just
the league. I mean, and that's an organization, right? That was the Curva Sud, right? And in the Bentegodi, right? Am I correct? It's Curva Sud. They need to close Curva Sud. Curva Sud should be closed for the rest of the season, unless there's some sort of chat with the Ultras head.
They closed. They did. You have to shame them. It has to be national news. They need other countries around them to listen. Come on. You know, when the whole thing with George Floyd, among other things that happened, all right, the events that happened in the U.S., everybody was taking a knee. Everybody was supporting the movement, if you will, all right, and defending people of color, coming out. And guess what? The whole world, including the Italian teams, the English teams, the Spanish teams, took a knee against our country. Fine. How about you start taking knees for your own fucking country and stop acting like you're perfect? You're not. You're worse. You're worse. The only difference is that we got the balls to shine the light on these people and say, get out, and say no. And it's not gonna happen now. But at least it's a start. At least it's and it sucks that these people have been going through it for so long and they still have to go through it. It makes absolutely no sense. But at the very least, start calling out these pricks. Call them out, shame them. Shame them. Just like we're doing on on Twitter, guys, with the whole Napoli territorial shit. You see how fast people are changing their tune now, right? Oh, I got family in Napoli. When they start shitting all over Napoli and then they end up getting jumped by us in a proverbial sense. You know what? Because we're holding them accountable, and then their story starts changing. And now, I got Napoli family. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, you didn't mean it like that. And everybody needs to take the responsibility, man. That's the only way. That's the only way. You got to fight fire with fire sometimes, unfortunately, even if you prefer to fight it with water. So that's all I have. Stop racism, man. Just stop. That's all I got to say, man. I have nothing left.
Scala says that you got to start taking some points away or people aren't going to care, but
not enough.
It's not enough, A, and B, it's not necessarily the club's fault. Like, the club shouldn't have to pay for idiots that trickle into the stadiums. Although the clubs should do better filtering these people that come in, yes. But the clubs being docked points is just not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair because it's not Darun's fault. It's not Gasparini's fault. It's not the ownership of Atalanta's fault. They do, though, need to start closing sections of the stadium or closing the stadium. Period. Like, okay,
that
next
hurts
game
just
is
as
behind
much.
closed doors. No, I mean it hurts.
No, you know
hurts
what?
Their pocket, but it doesn't hurt their points.
Rafa, what I would do? No. What I would do? Let all those pieces of shit stay at home on their couch, sucking their mother's titties, watching the fucking game. And you know what? get the families to go in those curvas. Get the kids
tickets
with
away,
their
give
parents.
tickets away in
Give
the
it to
curvas,
them.
yep.
Give it to some fucking refugees. Give it to people who are not going to bring that hatred inside your stadium. Give it to them. Let them have the experience of seeing that game, because you never know. You never know whose life you're going to change if you do that. You just never know. Keep those jerks out and give it, because I don't want it's true. I don't want the team, even with Juve, how it listen, yo, and I implore you guys to listen to In the Shadows of Vesuvius with Henry Bell and Michele. And this guy tells you some shit that it blew my mind away. I'm not going to give it away. You need to go listen to it. Of what these guys do.
Michele Borelli is he lives right in Naples, so he knows what the ins and the outs of what's going on. He's literally in the shadow of Vesuvio, and the podcast is amazing. It's on Far From Vesuvius. Check it out. It's becoming their flagship show, man. Like that's becoming
it's growing. It's
the
getting
show,
good.
dude.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's
And
great.
It's an amazing show. Check it out, please. Far From Vesuvius. Again, you can still find us on Far From Vesuvius until our Ralph and Ralph's Apple podcast account comes through.
Oh, moving up there in the world, Ralph.
Yes. We're still posting our audio shows to Far From Vesuvius for our Apple users who don't really want to use Spotify or Google or Podbean or whatever. But whoever uses Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, you can find the Napoli Rant on your favorite podcast platform. If you can't watch live or watch taped, check it out.
Guys, let's get
Ralph, man, I'm so happy that we talked about this, man, because this is something that,
that was my rant for the day.
I really enjoyed that. And I feel like you're right when it comes to the territorial abuse. It's not on the same level. Let's just say it right now. It's not on the same level as racism, obviously.
No.
But it's a fucking problem, and it's part of the problem. It's part of the cultural problem.
They're cousins. The mentality is they're cousins.
It's a lateral move. It's
exactly.
a lateral move. Yes. Obviously, racism towards, black people or Hispanic people or people of different cultures, it's disgusting in colors. Yeah. It's disgusting. Yeah. But when you have racism, or not racism, but discrimination within your own country too,
right?
That's a goddamn problem. Excuse my language.
Right. It's like how racist
it's a problem.
How racist can a white person be that they are even discriminatory over a different brand of white? I mean, like, what the fuck?
A way of life, discriminating a way of life, and discriminating another perspective within the country, and discriminating against, the way we live and the way, our economic situation is. And you know what, man? At the end of the day, we're all Italians.
Yeah.
We're all Italians. It's the same thing here in America between the stupid Republicans and the dumb Democrats. Mm-hmm. It's the same. We're still Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. It's a disgraceful problem, and people need to get over themselves. They really do. They need. Yeah. First of all, especially in this country, people need to get the hell over themselves, man. Everybody, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, this, that. Everybody has to get over themselves and look at your neighbor and look at the person next to you and across from you and behind you. You know what I mean? And we're all the same. We all breathe the same air. We all eat the same food. We all need the same things to live. We all require love, affection, happiness. We all go through sadness. We're all the same, man. We're all the same. So I don't care where you're from. In this country, in Italy, I don't care. You'll never once, ever.
What up,
I
Cliff?
cried. Let me tell you something. Like Cliff is nice to have you in, Cliff. The first thing I'm going to say when Cliff comes in is, we can't stand Juventus. But in 2015, when they were in the Champions League final, and there was that stampede in the square in Turin, right? That a lot of people got hurt. There might have been a death or two, right? Remember that, guys? I don't know if you remember that. But I cried, man. I cried because those are Italians with kids going to watch their favorite team play on a big screen in a European Championship final. And there was this some sort of false alarm where there was a stampede and a trampling, and it was terrible. They had to clear this piazza. It was bad, and I cried, man. There are people out there, thankfully no Napoli fans that I know of, but there are people out there that were like, "Oh, Juventini got what the scum Juventini got what they were got what was coming." Are you out of your freaking mind, man? Are you out of your mind? It's disgusting. It's just disgusting. The mentality of these people. It's gross.
Cut it out.
It's amazing how people just dissociate, just on the dime. They just dissociate and they feel like they're
I don't like you
It's
because
just
of your
amazing.
freaking team. Doesn't mean I don't like you because you're from Torino, Milan, Venezia, Roma, this, that.
Stupid.
I don't like you because of your team that you support, and I'm going to argue with you. Doesn't mean that I'm going to start picking on your weight, height, sex, preference, binary choice,
economic status,
pronouns, color of your hair, skin, this, that. I just don't like you because you're a scummy Juventino, not because you're from Torino.
Yeah. People can't separate.
Not for nothing, but Juventini, there's a bunch of Ferrari fans that are Juventini, I'm sure, because it's the same. I'm a big Ferrari fan. I have to disassociate the fact that Ferrari and Fiat and Alfa, they're owned by the same owners as Juventus, but I'm still a fan, and I we can all rejoice there, but when it comes to Juve, I don't care about you.
Forza Max, guys.
But that doesn't mean I don't like you as a person. It doesn't mean I don't like you as a friend. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go ahead and start insulting you and your personal life and what your situation is. And people need to really get on the same page.
Guys, I'm gonna end it there. That was powerful. No, Cliff, we like you. It's true. We do like Cliff. All right. Really and doing big things on your show, Cliff. We're glad to see it, man. We're super happy for you. Guys, it's been a great Carmine. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you again.
Always a great job. Always fun to have you up here. Ralph, wonderful show as always.
Yeah, man. Same to you, obviously. Yeah.
Thank you to the chat, to everybody. To everybody who stuck with us, big shout out to Gaetano and his family.
21 more points.
21 more points, baby. It's gonna be big, man. Every Sunday or every game match day is gonna be so big. Looking forward to it. No matter what the results is. You know what? We're giving people a run for their money, and I think that's
we are in the conversation. We are in the Scudetto conversation on April 4th with 7 matches left. How can you ask for more?
Can't, guys.
Can't. But you can't ask for more,
especially after December and February. You can't ask for much more than that.
Yes, we got through all those tough times, man, and we're here. And nobody can take that away from us, man. We were in it to the end. You know what I'm saying? And and I got to tell you, I'm seriously considering travel plans for May, guys. Just so you guys know.
Me too.
The more we do what we are doing, I am ready to pull the trigger.
Oh my God! I got my tickets for June, so I'm not gonna. But it's all right.
Okay,
that's okay.
Thank you.
It'll still be a celebration, Ralph.
It'll
still be a celebration when you get there in June.
Oh yeah. We're doing we're gonna do the remote episode, so even if I'm gonna hold it down here while you guys bring me the on the boots on the ground content. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, anyway, guys, Forza Napoli sempre. Thank you to chat. Be sure to hit like, subscribe. A lot of people have. It's been helping us out. Our numbers are growing. It's awesome. So avanti così. Thank you so much. We love you. Forza Napoli. Until next time, guys.
Sempre.
Ciao.
Ciao, guys.